Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic, coming at you guys with another episode of the Cincinnati Royals MyLeague expansion here on NBA 2K21, and we are here after All-Star break. We're sitting at 28 and 27 right now. You know, got some custom recruits for the 2022 NBA draft that I want to show you guys, as well as what I kind of have planned going into the off season, you know, because we're at a crossroads right now, man. So I'm gonna get into all of that, and then on top of that, we're gonna play against the Los Angeles Lakers, who have LeBron James, and they also have Anthony Davis, on top of, you know, some good vets like Derrick Rose and Tristan Thompson as well. So yeah, man, without further ado, we'll go ahead and check out the standings to see where we're currently at. So this is what the standings are currently looking like going into the second half of the season. The Boston Celtics are just out here killing the game. They are 37 and 17 right now with the best record in the Eastern Conference, although the Chicago Bulls are right behind them. Not only do they have Zach LaVine, but they also signed Giannis Antetokounmpo in free agency, and he has been extremely helpful for this young core that they got going on here. As for Cincinnati, though, we're 28 and 27. We're actually tied for 8th place in the Eastern Conference. We're tied with the Indiana Pacers. We do have that tiebreaker on them, and you know, reasons why we're, you know, doing solid as a team is we don't have any star players, but we have a lot of depth that we do have to work with. And you know, whenever they play in game, you know, they play as a team, which is very good to see. As for the Western Conference, the Houston Rockets, they're also sitting in that 8th seed right now. They're 2.5 games ahead of the Seattle Sonics, and that's important because we do have their first round pick right now, but it's top 10 protected. So if they make the playoffs, we'll have their pick for the upcoming draft. If not, they might get their pick back through the lottery if it falls within the top 10, but it becomes an unprotected 2023 pick for us for next season. So some interesting things to work with, and because of that, if we go look at the mock drafts right now, it's right now showing the Houston Rockets. They actually are currently slated to get the 17th pick, and then our pick is the number 19th pick. So right now we got the 17th and 19th picks. So you know, there's some, you know, we're, you know, sitting in just about the middle. Nothing too crazy though. But that being said, let's go ahead and check out the prospects, the custom prospects that you guys had submitted through Discord as well as on YouTube. So starting with point guard, we have a lot of custom recruits that are on point guard. We have Jay Buckingham, who is representing for Alabama, a great defensive player who has the potential to be a Russell Westbrook All-NBA kind of guy, or be out of the league, so kind of a boom and bust kind of player, who's slated to go 8th overall according to Draft Express. Miami Uiagalelei, he is from Clemson. He is slated to go 11th overall. Tua Coutura is from the Philippine Nations. He's a mid-first round pick according to Draft Expressions. Then we go into the second round. We have Timothy Rowan from Loyola Marymount, who is currently ranked as the 33rd best prospect, followed by Chris Smoove from Florida, clearly inspired by the great 2K YouTuber Chris Smoove. Aaron Hendricks, who is an interesting guy to me. He's the 44th overall rated prospect, but that being said, he is, you know, he has a B overall, so definitely some intrigue there. As well as Washawn Macklin, who's listed at 6'4", 47th overall rated prospect from Duke, a nice all-around player. Gary Johnson is the 51st overall prospect, a 3-point specialist from Vanderbilt. Christopher Rockford from Arizona is 5'4", and at least that's what his listed height is, and is 165 pounds. He's the 57th overall rated prospect. And then Devin Parker is the last point guard custom prospect in this draft class, but he has some intrigue for sure. 60th overall rated prospect, but he sits at 6'9". You know, can have potential to guard multiple positions on the floor, basically anything but center. And, you know, he's ranked number 60, but I think he'll outlive those expectations if he does get a shot at joining an NBA team. Over at shooting guard, we have 2 custom prospects I want to show you guys. The first one is Jacarius Adakule, who is an offense initiator, and according to 2K, he is ranked as the number 1 overall prospect, but a consensus top 5 pick regardless. He is only 18 years old, has the upside to be a starter in this league, but could be out of the league as well if he doesn't get good coaching and good development. So, you know, kind of a right fit kind of person. Same thing for say could be say about Zachary Williams, who's listed at 6'4", so a little bit undersized for a shooting guard, but does have the ceiling to potentially make it to the Hall of Fame or be out of the league as well. But again, you know, needs to be in the right place at the right time. He is a consensus top 10 pick. Next up, we have the shooting guards. We have Arnold Bizenbach, who is listed as the number 1 ranked prospect according to Draft Express, sitting at 23 years old. He is from supposed to be Austria, but for some reason this game actually does not have Austria, which was really interesting to me. But he does have the ceiling to be an all-star player and can certainly play right away. You know, has some things that he needs to work on, such as you know, can't really hold his spots, not a very reliable defender in the low post, and his ability to grab boards has been questioned despite the fact that he is 6'7". After that, we have Jamarco Pickett, who is representing Georgetown, an all-star ceiling kind of guy right here. He you know, it's a decent offensive player to start out, but will need to work on the defensive end. He could go in a lot of different spots. Some places are calling him a top 10 pick, but there's another NBA.com says this is a 2nd round pick in the making. So it'll be interesting to see where Jamarco Pickett will end up falling. As now we also have AJ Khan, who is more of a consensus lottery pick, 6'7", and representing from Duke University. He's got a B offense and a C- defense. He's got an all-star ceiling, but also could be out of the league after his rookie contract as well. After that, we got Jordan Hayes, who's a 16th, you know, could be a mid-first round pick, I suppose. A sharp shooter representing from USC with starter potential. Gary Drew is listed at 6'7", but has a 7-foot wingspan. Gary Drew is a mid to late first round pick who is considered a mid-range specialist, but does have all NBA potential, so could be something to watch out for. Next up, we do have the power forward custom recruits, and the first one, the best power forward in this 2022 draft class, is Sikander Sai, who is from India. If he does go in the top 5, he would be the highest drafted Indian in NBA history. He's listed at 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan, and does have all-star potential, but could also get out of, be out of the league after his contract is up. The ability to grab rebounds is a big question mark for him. We'll see if that holds him back in the NBA. Up next, we have Brian Kerrigan, who is a consensus top 5 pick as well, and arguably the best power forward in this draft class. Brian Kerrigan is a interior finisher who is 21 years old and is from Alabama A&L. So Alabama A&M, they usually don't turn out prospects like this kid, but he's a notable exception. You know, it just goes to tell, if you're really talented, doesn't matter where you go, the NBA will eventually find you. Then we have Rolf Bunch from Holy Cross. They don't know what his ceiling or floor is yet. We still have to do some scouting on him, but NBA, between Draft Express, 2K, and NBA.com, could be anywhere between a lottery pick or could, fall back into that mid-first round range. Could be a solid player. The final power forward being introduced is Dakotas Patton, who is a 6'9" power forward from the University of Buffalo, but originates from Nigeria. Africa, getting a nice wave of players, haven't been seen since the days of Serge Ibaka. He could be anywhere between a mid to late first round pick. Could also fall into the second round, and if that does happen, Dakotas Patton could be one of the biggest draft steals of this entire draft. Finally, we have the centers, and the centers was the strongest draft position in the 2021 NBA draft class, and same could potentially be said about this group of centers as well. Quite a few centers in here that could very much make a difference in the league right away, including Gary McAdoo. Gary McAdoo is a two-way stretch 5 from the University of Houston and could potentially go, he's in that discussion of being the #1 overall pick, depending on who the lottery gods favor, on who's needs what, but he's listed at 7'2" and is a stretch 5 from Arizona. Also in that top 5 discussion, we have Avery Sherman, who's 7'7" and is from Texas Christian. He does have the ability to be a great defender. The defensive potential is there, but he doesn't have good defensive anticipation. So we got to work on that if he does come to our squad somehow. But that being said, he could be a very solid player in the NBA given his 7'7" frame. A little bit of, finally, the last custom prospect to be revealed is Jose Cortez, who's a little bit of a unicorn. He's 7'6", but he's only 176 pounds, so that weight is going to be an issue for him, I would think, but he's still listed as the 7th best prospect between Draft Expressions, 2K, and NBA.com. Gotta put some weight on him, but he's only 18 years old and has time to develop as well. But hey man, all that being said, we are now ready to go ahead and take on the Los Angeles Lakers, led by the tandem of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Should be a good one, so if you're enjoying this video so far, please do me a favor and smash that like button for me, as well as hit subscribe if you have to be new and like what you see as well. Let's go ahead and get this game in, man. Let's go! Alright man, so we get to go play the Los Angeles Lakers, the best known franchise in all of pro basketball. They got themselves a squad, man. They got some veterans, AD and LeBron, y'all know him, but Tristan Thompson and Derrick Rose is also on this team as well. So that being said, man, we have our hands full here for sure. We do end up winning this tip-off, though. Let's see if we can also get ourselves the first bucket here. Michael Porter Jr. on the move, going for some heads! Slam dunk! Sending a message right away here, man. And that's how you want to start this game off. A nice bucket like that, as Michael Porter Jr. actually misses the bunny shot. And so Lakers now going the other way, getting it to Derrick Rose. Ron Valambidi, you didn't even need to do that, my guy. Ron, you had the block. You just didn't have to foul. And now Derrick Rose got some free throws. We're still tied up, though. And Ron, he can also do a little bit of passing around himself. He's got AD on him. He's going to take him up in the post. Nobody else to help him out. He's going to get fouled and nearly gets it to go. Anyways, Ron Valambidi does end up making both his free throws. As we've been trading baskets back and forth, nobody really taking a lead right now. Only a 1-point game as Anthony Davis, he's on Grant Williams, but Grant Williams does not bite this time around. Gets it to Michael Porter on the other end. And another transition bucket for the Cincinnati basketball team as they're going the other way now. 3-point game. Trying to get a lot of points early here. These guys can definitely score. Michael Porter with the green bean right in the face of LeBron James, the king. And just like that. And look at that mean mug, too, by Michael Porter, too, as we get a turnover on LeBron as well. Josh Green going the other way. Step back. Splash. Josh Green, the green bean machine, also with the step back three. And so the Cincinnati Royals going the other way with a Michael Beasley trying to lay it up, too. He gets the N1 to go. Kendrick Perkins, or KCP, calling for the foul. Malik Beasley getting the and one to go as well. And Cincinnati looking very good to start this game. 28-17 in favor of the Royals. They're trying to slow it down just a little bit here. Tony Bradley going into the post. He's got AD as well. He spins off him, and he gets easy lay-in as well, making Anthony Davis looking absolutely silly out there on the court. And now, all things being considered, we're just trying to put an exclamation point on this corner. Emmanuel Mudiay with a slam jam, two-handed for insurance. And 39-23, these Lakers, man, they getting a little bit show-shocked. I'm not going to lie. As we get another steal the other way, Derrick Jones Jr. trying to take it. Kersey stopped on the ball. We turned the ball back over ourselves, so man, we could have had 40 points in this quarter, and it looks like we do end up getting there off screen though. 42-25 in favor of the Cincinnati Royals. What a start. Let's see if we can keep these good vibes going here for the next 3 quarters. We got to keep up this kind of energy. So let's go, man. Second quarter, we're playing fantastic to start this game, but can we keep it up? We do have most of our bench players in at the moment. Guys like Lamont Kersey and, you know, other role players like Emmanuel Mudiay. Ron Valabidi, though, he's on there on the court as a starter. Let's see what he can do. As Valabidi, he does end up winning the rebound. He's going to send it down court. Malik Beasley finds Derrick Jones Jr. He gets the layup to go. A break starter by Ron Valabidi. And speaking of which, he's got the takeover bench turned on now. We're going to get him more involved. Valabidi going to take Tristan Thompson on, trying to take it to the cup. He's fouled. Tristan Thompson responsible for fouling our rookie star. And so, keeping it real, 52-37. Michael Porter Jr. up on top, going to try to get Halliburton open. He does get open and gets the mid-ranger danger to go as well. 58-44 for Cincinnati as they tried to move the ball around some more. We get poked from behind, though. That might have been Anthony Davis as Derrick Rose now. He gets the layup to go the other way. He may not be explosive as what he used to be. He was actually on the Detroit Pistons last year, so I'm glad D Rose getting some justice and going to an actual team. No offense to any Pistons fans that may be watching this episode right now, but LeBron James and Anthony Davis could make it single digits again, and we do just that. He had Josh Green on him, and he had no chance whatsoever. And so, trying to move the ball back, bring it back to double digits, but Josh Green, he's now turning ice cold here, man. He's only 1 for 5 from the field in this game, as we just can't really get one of our better shooters on the team to get going right now. But Okafor gets open, but I don't even know what he's trying to do. Remember, this was the #1 overall pick that prior to us signing him, he was perceived as a bust, and plays like that, you can kind of see why. That is not a good look whatsoever, as Malik Beasley going to try to shoot for three-pointer. That's no good. LA really starting to come back here now. It's Caldwell Pope in the corner. He misses the corner three, but LeBron James is there. Gets it back to AD, who's blocked by Kersey. LeBron James, though, picks that up as well. He gets the bucket to go. And now just a 2-point game. LeBron gets another turnover, taking it to the free for Byers. He can't get the tying bucket to go, though. Cincinnati trying to get momentum back as LA getting some momentum their way right now. Trying to slow things down a little bit here. Malik Beasley with the free bean. 17 points for Malik Beasley as they go the other way. LeBron gets the last second bucket to go too. And now just a 3-point game. Remember, we were up double digits in the first quarter, but the Lakers, they have stormed back here. It's going to be 64-61 Cincinnati as we go into the locker room for this little halftime break right here. We're shooting 65% from the field and only up by 3 points. Alright, man, so let's see if we can get our mojo back going here once again as they try to go for the lob, but Ron Valabiti says no, not today. Tyrese Halliburton, he's going to make the mid-ranger danger. That's good as well. That's exactly how we wanted to start this thing, man. Stopping a lob and taking it the other way, getting some transition buckets. So we almost get a steal. LeBron James recovers it. Actually, that's not LeBron James. It's somebody else, but LeBron's going to pull up for the mid-ranger danger. That's no good, though. The Royals going the other way, though. Halliburton pulling up, but Michael Porter Jr. getting the rebound and getting the foul, too. We get Tristan Thompson once again. That's his second foul of this game, man. It's a 5-point game, 70-65. Tyrese Halliburton trying to guard Derrick Rose. He's putting on a show, but gets blocked by Grant Williams, who's taking it the other way. Josh Green, Green Bean, it's good. And so another three-pointer for Cincinnati as Roy Valabiti misses that shot, though. He usually doesn't miss the mid-ranger's dangers when it's open like that. Lakers going the other way. We got an exciting little game, man. Lakers put up 69. Nice. And so 73-69. And the 69 meme is going to die. Another bucket by Aaron Baines, but it was only temporary. You'll love to see it, though. And only a 2-point game. Cincinnati trying to get something going here. Grant Williams open again, but can't finish, though. And so the Lakers, they have a chance to possibly take the lead right here, or at the very least tie this thing up. McDaniel stuck. Somehow gets that one to go, though. And so, all tied up here, man. Extremely close game. Byers! Baines almost gets it in. Jahlil Okafor fouls him, though. And Baines does make both his free throws. 83-82 in favor of the Lakers. As Baines picks up another rebound. That's good as well. Jahlil Okafor could not get the defensive board. And you can see momentum shifting towards the Los Angeles Lakers right here. Horton Tucker pulling from three. He misses, but Aaron Baines with another rebound. And somehow manages to miss that one as well. But Jahlil Okafor, man, not having that great of a game as Tony Bradley with a costly mistake. This is why centers, other than Ron Valabiti, do not take the ball of court for stuff like that. And the Royals, man, starting to fall apart a little bit here. Lakers going on a run here as Emmanuel Mudiay. He's going to be called for the foul, but McDaniels still going to get the and one opportunity and gets it to go too. And now the Royals in serious danger. KCP pulling up for the mid-ranger danger. No good. We need something the other way. Malik Beasley passing it to Derrick Jones Jr. And he gets the bucket to go in the middle of a 14-6 run. Lakers really pulling ahead, winning that third quarter big. And the Los Angeles Lakers, 1 quarter left to play. They almost put up a 100-burger on us already. 98-90 in favor of the Lakers. So let's go, guys. Let's see if we can finish this quarter. Let's see if we can win this game, get a comeback going here, man. We got the players to do it as Mudiay trying to take it up himself, but gets fouled. Tristan Thompson again being called for the foul, his third foul of this game. We're trading buckets here, 8-point game, but ill-advised shot by Michael Porter Jr. means the Lakers are going the other way. D. Rose put it in, work. What a step back from the free throw line. And the Lakers taking control here. D. Rose putting on a show, looking like his old self a little bit, but turnover the other way. Ron Valabiti picks it up after the AD block. And 102-95 for Cincinnati as they try to come in closer. D. Rose trying to go in again, but misses once more. Ron Valabiti, pull up, Green! Ron Valabiti with the pull-up three. That is some big dick energy right there. And so pulling within 3. We got a chance to tie though. Josh Green going the other way, but turns the ball back over. Here comes the Lakers. Need a stop here for momentum purposes. D Rose going to the king. One-on-one. Michael Porter Jr. step backs, fadeaway. That's good. In a 5-point game, trying desperately to lock up the king. He got that ball on a string. Almost gets that step back to fall. Josh Green going the other way, though, finds Ron Valabini. He can't get that one to go. Michael Porter, though, able to get the rebound. 3-point game here once again. And so, could go either way here still. 113 to 110. AD out in the open. One-on-one with Ron Valabini. He's going to go try to set up a pick and pop with Anthony Davis, who was open. But LeBron going in as the finisher, as the killer here. 5-point game here again. 115-110. Tyrese Halliburton double team. Somehow gets it to Valabini, though. He can't finish, though. Lakers going the other way here again. Gets it back to James, who gets it to D Rose. That's good. So now a 7-point game now, trying to claw back into his thing. LeBron has the takeover badge, and we are scared to death right now. Valabini trying to go to the post move, but it doesn't work. Can't even get the loose ball. Lakers the other way. LeBron on the fast break. Guys all over him, but still manages to get the bucket. Jesus Christ. And so this is not looking good for the Royals. 126 to 118. And now AD also has a takeover badge. He's going to step back on Grant Williams. Somehow D Rose gets the rebound, but Ron Valabini affects the shot. Michael Porter going the other way, finds Valabini. He's fouled by LeBron James. And Valabini, man, he makes both the free throws, but they're starting to pull away still. 8-point game, 30 seconds left. This thing could very much be over. Here was LeBron driving in, but Aaron Baines is left by himself and puts Grant Williams on a poster. And that's how this thing ends, man. The Los Angeles Lakers storm back after a strong first quarter by us. And the Lakers win. Final score 132 to 122. Check out the stats for this game, man. Alright, man, so we are going to go ahead and check out the stats, and we were led today by Ron Valabini once again. He did have 27 points and 14 rebounds, but, you know, even though he had a steal and 2 blocks as well, only 9 for 21 from the field. That's tough to sink in. He did hit a 3-pointer today. That's the first time we hit one in, like, an actual game. He was 1 for 2 from the 3-point line, 8 for 8 from the free throws. Malik Beasley, though, off the bench, man, he had himself a day. 20 points and 2 assists, 7 for 8 from the field, 5 for 6 from free. Dude was stroking it from that 3-point line. Got contributions from Tyrese Halliburton. He had himself a double-double today. Michael Porter had 17. Moutier had 11. That being said, though, we ran into one of the best duos in the NBA, and it showed out there today as well. LeBron James, man, he did what he is accustomed to. 29 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, had 3 steals too on top of that. Dude was a monster. Same thing with Anthony Davis. He had 28 points as well. Derrick Rose was even doing, had some vintage Rose out there, 25 and 9. Couldn't get much help from like anyone other than the other 3 guys on the board, but when you have LeBron and Anthony Davis, you have some great closers. That was really the difference maker, man. We just could not stop these 2 guys to stop, to save our life, and it showed today, man. Okay, so even though we took a tough loss to the Lakers, we're starting to get back into a nice little rhythm, though. We're starting to get back to our winning ways. Since that loss, though, we ended up going 5-2. We barely lost to the Bulls and barely lost to the Celtics as well, 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. everyone else, you know, we beat the Hornets by 4. We blow out the Trailblazers, and that was off of the back of Malik Beasley and Tyrese Halliburton. They both had over 20 points scored on that one. We do beat Atlanta Hornets and the Pacers, and because of this little bit of a roll we're on, we do get a little bit safer. We are now sitting as the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference, so things getting very, you know, interesting out there for sure. We'll go ahead and check out the standings real quick to see where the Rockets are at, as we'll get a good look at the playoff picture. You see the Royals and the Houston Rockets are also sitting in that 7th seed as well. The Pelicans are actually number 8, with barely trying to hold off against the San Antonio Spurs. They're tied for 8th place as well. Very tight races on east side of the conference. Milwaukee trying to sneak in there despite not having Giannis Antetokounmpo on the squad anymore. Man, things are certainly getting intense for sure. As well, I think next episode I'm just looking at who we got going up on the slate. Toronto isn't that good. The Cleveland Cavaliers, though, they're the 4th best team in the Eastern Conference. So, you know, I'm actually going to do a little bit more simming. We'll see how we do against it in these other 3 games right here. See if we can keep the positive vibes going. Can we do beat the Toronto Raptors. We beat the Golden State Warriors and then finish out. So we're on a nice winning streak right now. We have, it looks like a 7-game winning streak right now. We score 145 on the Warriors as well. Ron Valbini, 23 and 10. Michael Porter with 27. Same thing with Toronto, man. We score 142 on the Toronto Raptors. We had 4 guys scoring 20 points or more. That is insane. Ron Valbini, he almost had himself a triple-double, which is really impressive as a center. But yeah, man, next episode we will go ahead and play against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, and as we continue to make one last push, last month of the NBA season could get very tight here, man. So do me a favor and please smash that like button as well as hit subscribe if you do have to be brand new and like what you see here on the channel. This is John J. Game on the mic. Hoping you guys are all out there having a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.